Okay, today's word is minimum, and it has one meaning that's on your card, which is the adjective meaning, which describes something. So it describes a noun. You could say the smallest that is possible or allowed. So for example, we can say a minimum payment. Minimum describes payment. It says what kind of payment. It's the smallest possible payment. Often we use it that way, the smallest that is possible or allowed. It can also mean extremely small in size or amount. So we could say for this adjective meaning, we could say you should pay more than the minimum payment on your credit card to prevent being in debt for a long time. So the minimum payment on your credit card is the credit card company will say, you can pay $25 a month or $15 a month. That's the least amount that we require. We don't make you pay any more than that. It's the minimum. But you should pay more. You can pay more and you should pay more. If you don't pay more, you'll have much bigger debt over time. Because you're only paying $15 and then they always pay the interest first. That's what they do. So, and the interest is the money that they put in their pocket. That is extra money, right? That's not the money that you borrowed to begin with. Not the money, it's their money, extra money that you have to pay them. So if you're only paying $15, most of that money goes in their pocket. And just a small amount actually reduces your debt. But if you pay more, then you can reduce your debt faster. So it's better to pay more than the minimum payment on your credit card. Also, we say a minimum day is a short day, like an extremely small day at school. It's shorter than a regular school day. And we can say here, a good essay. Okay, and then let's talk about minimum as a noun, because the sentence here actually uses minimum as a noun. So minimum as a noun is, it's on the word families. It has basically the same idea of being the smallest allowed, but it's just, here it's describing another noun, right? Minimum, it's describing a noun, I mean. Adjective describes a noun. Minimum payment, right? But if we just say minimum as a noun, we could say, it's also the smallest, it's like the smallest thing that is possible, I guess. Here it's just the saying, this is describing this other word, saying the payment, what kind of payment is it? It's the smallest possible payment. But if we just have minimum, it's like the smallest possible thing, basically. So here, over here, a good essay has a minimum of 5 paragraphs. That's the noun meaning. It's not describing any other word. It's not, it's not like minimum payment. It's just a minimum, un minimo, right? So it's a smallest possible amount as a noun. Very similar meaning. It's just adjective meaning describes a noun, right? And this doesn't. This is just that's the smallest possible. And we can talk more about that. We'll have questions. What is the part of speech of minimize?
Verb, sir.
Verb, right? Because I is isar. Verb. To make something, minimize means to make something as small as possible. One thing we talk about with computers, you click on the little button, like the minus button, like on a Windows computer, it makes the window very small as possible. You make it minimum size. You minimize it, you say. Let's minimize that window. It gets small. It gets very small. Minimal, anybody know? Adjective, and that means, that's really a synonym for minimum adjective. It has pretty much the same meaning. Because it's also an adjective, and it also means the smallest possible. It's a synonym. But it's kind of confusing to put it in 2 columns. That's why we put it here. But it's really, we could say it's also a synonym, I would say. It's a case of a word family that's also a synonym. Because it has the same meaning, really. It has the same meaning. Minimal. The minimum payment, you could say that. The credit card company says minimum, but you could say minimal. It has the same meaning pretty much. Yeah, and I mean, it's often, minimal is often used with this very extremely small, I think, also. Minimal can often be used with extremely small. Something is minimal, it's extremely small. But that's also a meaning, that's for minimum too, right? So it can be a synonym. It's a synonym. Okay, synonyms that we have here, least possible, smallest, or lowest. Antonyms, maximum, biggest, or highest possible. All right, so are there questions? Okay, thank you very much for filming. Thanks for watching.